So I'll try as much as possible to be brief, and I want to make sure that we go with something important. So we are focusing on profitability. Yeah. So a lot of people would ask from time to time, especially as a consultant, people call in to know if the business is still profitable. So I hear that question a lot. And having dealt with or having worked with closely with farmers, poultry farmers for a couple of years, I've seen uh, those who are really enjoying the business, who are making a lot of money, and who are not even shy to talk about it. Yeah, even in this season, like people will tell you, DIY, thank God. Oh. In fact, it's like this whole uh, hula baloo is to their advantage, you know. So, and I've seen people also that will say, it's just tough. It's a terrible situation everywhere, blah, 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 blah. The business is not going. Some say it from a place of sincerity, honesty, and some just say it because they don't want people to know how well they are doing in the business. So, regardless of where they are coming from, I want us to still know that it is very possible to make good profit even in this season. Yeah. So, one thing that you need to do as a person to even know whether you are making profit or not. No, no, we talked about record keeping is close to that. But then what I want to say first is your performance review. You know, as a poultry farmer, you want to know whether you're even performing well or not. Yeah, it's relative. What I mean by relative is before you can know whether you are doing well or not, you have to compare maybe your performance to someone else's performance. That way, you can now say, okay, am I doing better than this person or are they doing better than me? And I must tell you, if you want to compare yourself to people, don't just compare yourself to somebody that is random. Compare yourself to professionals in the field, those who are really getting good results. So, for example, you say you're raising your broilers, if you're a broiler farmer, and at 2 weeks you have been getting results like your brothers are weighing 300 grams at 2 weeks, which is pretty low. At 2 weeks we expect you to have something around 450 upwards. Sometimes we have 600, 590, 580. But in the worst case you should have 450 upwards. So let's say you have been getting 300, 300, 300, 300. So when you're comparing yourself to people, don't compare yourself to people who are getting 250 or people who are in the range of 300. Look at the industry experts, those who are really getting good results, and say, okay, am I doing well? So remember again, if you don't have your record, you cannot compare. If on a weekly basis you don't take your weight, you cannot compare. You will say, the birds, they look, they don't have
They
feathers.
don't have.
They don't have feathers. They are heavy. I carry them. No, that's not it. You can't pass that data to someone else. If you are just knowing the weight of your birds by just carrying them, you can't pass the data. It's not transferable. So you need to use your weighing balance to check the weight on a weekly basis. That way you can tell, yeah, I have this average weight at week one, I have this average weight at week two, this at week three, this at week four. Then you compare it to the industry standard. You compare it to what is obtainable, not just what you saw on Facebook or what you saw on it, what is actually obtainable, what the experts are telling you that you can actually achieve. You compare it to that. So once you know that you are behind, then you try to scale up. You try to do, what is it that I'm getting wrong? What is it they are doing that I need to start doing so that I can get better results? So that is the performance review. And I tell you, a lot of people just complain, but they don't do this performance review. They can't even trace their problem to anything. They can't point on something and say, I think it was when I changed the feed to finisher that they stopped growing well. I use New Hope as my starter, but I like to use Chikun, or I like to use Hendrix. I like to use hybrid. I like to use, so it's like each time I change, if you have data, if you have your record, you can tell. You will know, okay, at week 2 the average weight was okay, at week 3, but when I changed to finisher something happened. Or maybe your own is not feed. Oh, when I moved them out of the brooding room, they started growing well. That means maybe the brooding area is not even good enough. So all those things will help you to know, because it's important that you even know whether you have a problem and you need a solution, or you don't need a solution. So this performance review is the first line of action if you want to achieve higher profitability. So once you've done that, then you take the next step. Okay, this is what I'm getting, then this is what is obtainable. Then you try to close the gap by doing what others are doing that you are yet to do. You get? So that's the first one I want to talk about. And the next thing is that many of us only started raising broilers because, yeah, it's a business that is moving around me. People are raising broilers. You don't even know details of the business. You don't understand the entire value chain of broiler business. So all you know is that, okay, they buy broilers from Ibadan. Let me also buy broilers. I'll raise it. And I don't even know how long, but once it grows to that size that I saw somewhere, I will start looking for customers. No, you need to understand the key players in the value chain. As a matter of fact, what you are doing currently today may not even be the best thing for you to do. Mr. Hay may be doing 5 weeks, 6 weeks chickens and selling them to off takers, and that might work well for Mr. Hay. Mr. B might have to do something else in the poultry value chain to get the best out of the business. So you need to understand the value chain. You need to understand that, okay, there's what we call the hatchery where the chicks are hatched. There's what we call the chick supplier, those who supply the day-old chicks. There's what we call the feed suppliers, those who supply the feeds that we give to these animals before they can get to the point where we slaughter them and all that. There's what we call the equipment suppliers. There's what we call the transporters, those who are into the logistics part of it, whether you are transporting day-old chicks, you are transporting point of lay, point of cage, you are transporting equipment, you are transporting medications, you are transporting vaccines that are kept in that vaccine boxes that they are that you have to keep that in a cold chain. Those who are doing that are the transporters. Then you need to understand that there are those who sell the veterinary medicine for the chickens that we are raising. Of course, you can hardly do without these things. So you need to understand that there are those who are doing brood and sale. They will just raise the birds because some are skeptical about raising day-old chicks. So these ones have found themselves to be good at raising day-old chicks. So they will raise them for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Actually, nobody does 4 weeks for brood and sale. People sell their broilers at 2 weeks, maximum of 3 weeks. That's the brood and sale. And they sell it as 4 weeks chicken. They will tell you 4 weeks broilers, 4 weeks broilers, but it's either 2 weeks or going to 3 weeks, or maximum of 3 weeks if they feed them well. So there are those who do that. There are those who do grow out. That's where most of us have plugged ourselves. You have the day-old chicks coming, you raise them for 5, 6 weeks, and then you sell them to off takers. There are those who go ahead to process. There are those who off take and process. I want you to understand that there are those who they do the grow out and then they process and sell. There are those who they don't want to bother themselves about the chickens that will die and all those things. They just want to off take from the farmers that are desperate. Sometimes these people even command the price. These people they are the very very they are let me not call them names. Yeah, but they as a middleman they take a lot of profits. So they take from the farmer the live chickens and then they go and process them and they sell. So there are those who are just marketers. They are not necessarily of taking, they are marketers. Some of them they work remotely. Some of them we have never seen, like I have some of them, we have never seen their faces, but we know them everywhere online. They know all the key players across the value chain. They know DIY agric, they know this, they know that, they know archeries. So whatever you need, equipment, uh, birds, day old, chicks, broiler, noiler, point of lay, point of cage, the cages, everything, they can market them. And you think that they have an empire. Some of these people don't even have one of those products that they sell. All they need to do is just connect the buyers to the sellers. The risk is very, very minimal and they still make a lot of profits. So if you understand the value chain very well, chances are that what you are even currently doing is not the best for you. Take for example, maybe you are within Ibadan axis, you don't really have a big space to farm, you are struggling with just your backyard to raise 200 birds, whereas all around you, you have poultry equipment, you have activities going on in the poultry business, people who are supplying the birds are around you, everybody. It may be better for you to plug yourself into the system and also start to do marketing because you are in the chain of supply, you are at the heart of the poultry itself, Ibadan. So if you had a big space, maybe you can raise 2,000 birds. Yeah, I would say fine. The profit margin is encouraging. It's something that you can say you get your salary from. But you're just raising 200 birds, and that's just about all you can do right now. The profit that will come from 200 birds, I don't know how that can sustain a family. So sometimes if you look critically at what you are doing, it may not be the best for you. That's the importance of understanding the value chain, the key players. Yeah, you may not have all the understanding, you may not have all the knowledge in this thing. You don't know, some of us don't know how to even hatch the old chicks, so the hatchery is out of it. Some of us may not be able to become a chick supplier now. You may not be able to supply feed because most of these companies will tell you to come and take minimum of 15 tons, several millions of naira. You may not have the vehicle to transport, but it is important that you consider all of these things that are available. Start researching on them. What is available? Okay, can I do archery? I can't do that now. I wish I can also be dictating the price of my day old chicks and just sell anyhow, any amount, and people will just buy. But I can't do that now. What else can I do? So you critically examine each of the options available for you across the poultry value chain and see where your strength lies. So if you think that there's something there that you can do, maybe you can market, or you have somebody who can raise you a couple of millions, you can buy equipment and resell, or you can buy feed and start supplying. People are complaining there's scarcity of chicken, there's scarcity of this one. You can start bringing in, open a depot and start supplying. You can raise some millions and do that. You just sit down somewhere, and the risk is also very, very minimal. Those are selling feed. You just to have a good store, make sure that you prevent rodents from entering, keep the place uh, clean, have a worker who helps you to load, and then those who will offload into your shop. All those things, do your accounting and make sure the place is secure so that people don't bug your shop. That's just about it. You don't have to worry about something dying, chicks dying, mature chickens dying, all those things. So it might be a right time or high time for you that you check all of these things, these options available for you in the value chain and say, do I need to even start something else? And it's possible that you even add it to what you're already doing. Probably you only do grow out. You can add processing. Nothing stops you as a poultry farmer to even market for others. Nothing stops you. So it's either you shift what you're doing to another thing, or you expand, you add more, you add more, you add more. All right. So, and in doing it, you need to understand where your strength lies. Some of us, our strength is the location that we'll find ourselves. Some people who are in Port Harcourt, for example, or let's just say you are in a place where it's very hard to get this good chicken feed that people are crying, it's so good, but it's not really available around you. Why don't you try to be a distributor for that feed in your locality? Look at the challenges, look at the benefit if you can overcome the challenges, and just you do that. So you find out what your strength is. Or is it that your own, you just have a space wasting around, and all you have been doing is just online marketing, but you have space and you have the knowledge? You can start some level of farming, you can raise some birds and then sell. Maybe the space for you is already free, or where you are even living, you have a pen just close to you that you can lease. It's very easy for you. You don't have to build the pen, you don't have to spend 5 million, 10 million, 14 million, 16 million building a pen. You have it around you, you can just lease it and use it. That's an advantage, that's a strength for you. So find that area where you have competitive advantage, and then focus on it. It will pay you in the long run. Somebody like me, I find myself to enjoy, I kind of understand chickens. Like, I see a chicken, I know what they are going through. It's my strength. And you people have said that I do well in teaching. I don't know, but you are telling me that I do well in teaching. So I found it as a strength, and I don't want to joke with that strength. That's why I do what I'm doing. I tell you, even though I've said I'm going to give you extra, blah 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 blah, I want to tell you, it took me just 10 minutes to put down this outline that I'm using to teach you. When I came here 9 o'clock and I said, okay, we are starting by 10, and I just got my pen and I just wrote the outline, and it just came pretty easy. Fine, I had idea of what I wanted to talk about, but I never really organized them. I had some insights, then I just said, okay, I got my pen 9 o'clock and I put it down, and I want to tell you, or you will tell me that it's good. So find your strength and take advantage of that strength. Take advantage of it. Don't let it just waste because this is what people are doing. You can do something new as long as you have critically observed it or examined it, and you see this thing can bring in more money for me. All right. So yeah, I've mentioned that you can sell poultry feed. So I've talked about the performance review, very key, and then you understand the poultry value chain. If you understand it, you'll be able to find a place where you can plug yourself, or you even expand yourself the more. Instead of shifting from one to another, you can just expand, add more to what you are already doing. Okay, and now in the area of marketing, because whether you like it or not, all of us will market. All of us are marketing what we are selling. You may be marketing directly to the end user, marketing to off takers. You are going to market. If you are selling feed, if you are supplying, even as a transporter, you market yourself. As the hatchery, you market yourself. Chick supplier, of course, you market yourself. You tell people, oh, high quality chicks, you can only get it from us. You market yourself. Everybody will market. So one thing, actually, this thing just came to me as I was writing down the outline. Uh, Sell convenience above everything in this age. Above everything, yeah, I know that you have to be trustworthy. Those are key things. You have to be trustworthy. People must trust you. You must build trust with your customers. You must, grow yourself. All those things, I don't want to go into all those details of marketing, but what I want to tell you right now that stands out for me is sell convenience. If you want to make more money, sell convenience. I tell you, the difference between the people that buy eggs in the regular, I don't have a crate around me here, in the regular crates that we know, the farmers crate, the difference between people that buy eggs in those crates and those that buy in those fancy crates that go to the supermarket and they pick a 6,000 naira egg for 5,000 naira egg, that is just 24 pieces. The difference is convenience. So is convenience. I will explain to you. There's a lot of yeah, Shukura. I want to go and carry one crate of egg from Yashukura, blah 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 blah. That's the regular crate. And when you get that crate of egg, some of it you will see some of it it will be small, some will be medium, some will be large, some will have chicken poop stain, some will have all manner of things. So, but the other guy who is buying from that fancy wrap, that fancy crate, wants or he expects that what they are selling to him is what is on the label. If they say extra large jumbo egg blah 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 blah, he wants everything to be extra large. He wants everything to be fresh. He wants everything to not have chicken poop. They must have taken time to clean it, dress it, you know, and he wants it in a place that is comfortable. He doesn't want to go through the market uh, stress to get the eggs. He just wants to pick it at the supermarket or have somebody just deliver, just call somebody, place an order, all those things. That is what is selling in this age. Convenience. If you can sell convenience alongside whatever you are selling, you will be able to tell them pay me 10,000 naira for something that is worth 6,000 naira. They will pay as long as you meet or you fulfill your promise. Your promise of okay, it is jumbo, make sure it's jumbo. Oh, it's so clean, make sure it's clean. Oh, it's fresh, make sure it's fresh. We'll deliver to your doorstep. Just 1,000 naira within Lagos, just 2,000 naira within Lagos. Make sure you fulfill that promise. As long as you fulfill all those promises, let their grandmother be telling them that they have used juju for you. How can you buy this thing for 30,000 naira? They will just say okay. Tomorrow they will still buy from you because their grandmother cannot give them that convenience. You are the one that can give them. And the people who are wealthy, who are well to do, they don't want to struggle. They just want convenience. So if you can sell convenience alongside whatever you are selling, trust me, you make more money. You make more money, and the people who are paying it will not complain. Just make sure that all of the promises that you have given them, you fulfill it. Don't say we deliver in 24 hours and now deliver in 36 hours. No. Make sure that you fulfill all the promises. If you cannot do it, don't promise it. They will still come like that. Those who will come will come. But once you promise them, they want to make sure that, or they expect you that you fulfill that promise. Okay, I have to check the time. Okay, we are almost 30 minutes gone. All right, so that's marketing. Very key, please, very key. You need to try and infuse it into your business. You're going to have to brainstorm in what area can I add convenience to what I'm doing. I don't want people to worry. I don't want them to have to move. I don't want them. You can decide to invest in logistics, get your delivery bikes, and start selling, delivering to people's doorstep. Even eggs or frozen chicken, you can just add convenience in any way, or whether they will have to call and do this, you can be the one to call them. You can have your customer database written down somewhere, and you can tell them that okay, you are adding them to a platform, or you're adding them to your calendar. You want to be reminding them that okay, are you about to run out of eggs? Do you want us to deliver to your home? All those things you have, because you have that database. You can easily tell, okay, this person got 4 crates. You can have some information about them. There are 4 in the family. They are this, on the average. You could have even taken the survey. You send a questionnaire to them. You do it maybe during the time that you are offering them um discount. Maybe something you sell for 4,000 naira, you sell it to them for 2,900, 3,200. During that time, they are happy. You can throw in a questionnaire, let them fill a survey. How many of them are in the home? How long does it take them to finish 2 crates of eggs? I'm just using the egg as an example. Blah 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 blah. So you use that to fill your calendar, and from time to time you reach out to them okay, just checking on you. If you are running out of egg, we can supply you, we can send it to your doorstep, blah, 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 blah. Anything that makes life easy for your customers, just try and add it to your business, do it for them. And I tell you, they won't go anywhere else, because every one of us, we already have a lot of tension out there. Our daily activities is a lot of tension. The work that we are doing is a lot of tension and pressure. So we don't want anything adding to that. So if there's anybody that can take that extra tension out of the way, we love them with the whole of our hearts. Okay, so that's all I will be saying on that marketing, and I trust that you'll be able to take the initiative to adapt it and infuse it into your own business. And then the last thing I'll be talking about before I take one of two questions, or maybe our questions might be sent in on the, because I don't want to take so long as I'm recording this session. So we might have to send in our questions on the Telegram page, and if I have to do a video to answer them, we could just come in and answer all the questions, or I answer them in text. I think I'll do it that way. So let me just talk about the last one, which is value addition. Somehow it will cross across some of the things that we have talked about. For example, I talked about you understanding the value chain, and you may have to add or expand. So somebody who is doing grow out before and decides to start processing as added value. So we might be talking about some of those things. All right. So value addition just simply means you add value to your produce or products. So this is a chicken. A 5 weeks chicken is a produce on your farm. You can even call it a product too. And if you decide to add value to it, we just um, have a meat shop or a stand where they come and they just point, this is the one I want. You tell them the price. You tell them, okay, I'm going to defeather and then eviscerate and just bag it for you. That's value addition. Some people cannot kill chicken. Some people can, but they don't want to go through the stress. They're coming back from work 5 p.m., 6 p.m. They just want everything done for them. And you have a defeathering machine, you could just do it within 3 minutes. The whole thing is done. So that is value addition. You have taken stress out of their life. You can see that's adding convenience also. You have taken that stress away. You will kind of shrink the time for them, the time it will take to process the chicken, because they don't have a defeathering machine to take them a couple of minutes, maybe 20-30 minutes before they can defeather a chicken and then eviscerate and all that. But you do it in just 3 minutes, and yours will be very neat and very presentable. So that's adding value. So if you have not been doing that, you may just want to do that. That's value addition. One of the things, or some of the things that value addition will do for you, is automatically, the moment you add that value, it increases the worth of that product. Yeah, I know that people who are selling or who are into processing will tell you that, yeah, you are selling what will give you 3 kg live weight cannot give you 3 kg when processed. I know that they will tell you that some weight will have gone because you have removed the intestine, you removed the feather. They will tell you all that, but in the end, one chicken, let's talk about one chicken now. One chicken that is weighing 3 kg, if you sell it as live weight, if you sell it for say 6,500, 7,000 naira, that's one chicken. The same chicken, if you process it and you want to sell it, it may go for as high, okay, let's even make it very practical. 3 kg, when you process 3 kg, you expect to get at least maybe 2.2 kg of chicken. So if you have 2.2 kg and you sell that at 4,200, if you do 4,200 times 2.2, that's already close to 10,000 naira. It's the same chicken, oh, after you have removed the feather, the wing, everything. So almost that's close to 10,000 naira, and you will sell that chicken as live weight 3 kg for maybe 7,000 naira. So imagine that difference, imagine that gap. Yeah, let's say you even pay for your fuel, you pay for the person who helped you to defend that, you will still have more profit, higher profit than the person who sold as live weight. So immediately you add value, you the value just, I mean, the worth of the product just skyrockets. All right, I got this barbecue catfish some days ago. Okay, the one I used to get in Lagos, they will sell it one catfish. Yeah, it's quite big, but it's not as big as 1 kg fish. They will sell it 8,000 naira. Just one, oh, 8,000 naira, 8K. And I'm not sure a fresh catfish is up to 4,000 naira or even 3,000, maybe 3,000 something or 2,000 something. I don't know that. I'm not sure, but I think I had recently not up to 3,000 naira. But even if it's more than 3,000 naira, it's not up to 4,000 naira one catfish. And that fish is not up to 1 kg. Imagine somebody taking that fish. Let's even say the price at as fresh is 4,000 naira. Imagine somebody selling the same thing now as high as 8,000 naira. That's in Lagos because of environment. Yeah, I got it here recently. It's a smaller one though. I got it 4,000 naira one. The same thing, if you are buying the fresh one, it cannot go for higher than 2,000, maybe 2,200 naira or so, because it's not so big. You might need about two of it to weigh 1 kg. So I got it one for 4,000 naira. Is it the charcoal? Is it the spices that will measure up to now make the other 50% that they have added to it? So usually once you add value to it, it pays off. You increase the worth. Sometimes the worth is close to double instantly, even after paying all the money or whatever it took you to add value to it, you still have more profit. So we need to think about value addition. If you have been selling your own broilers as grow out, um, you sell it at 5 to 6 weeks, somebody just comes, packs everything, and they even tell you will come on 4th of May, and you wait, they didn't come on 4th of May, you have to enter into the pen around 4 in the evening. You have to still feed them because you don't want them to lose weight. They say, ah, sorry, we could not come on 4th of May. We'll come latest by evening of 6th. You feed them for extra 2 to 3 days. And when they come, they will pay almost the same amount, because by that time, you'll be struggling to feed them to gain weight. They will just be eating to remain the same. All of the bags of feed that you give them at that time, gone. So usually when you add value to your product too, it helps you to control that situation. Somebody who is able to slaughter them and put them in freezer will not have to feed them again. So you have automatically removed the worry of having to feed chickens that are already due for harvest. So once you process too, you are able to save it for a longer time. If you have your deep freezer, for example, maybe after taking them to the blast freezer, and in some cases, those who are just starting, if you even have steady electricity, once you put them in the freezer and they stay there for a long time, and maybe the people you are selling to are just end users, you may not even need the blast freezer. But for the best result, take it to the blast freezer, let them pay an amount, let them blast it for you, bring it into your freezer, you store it, and you sell it whenever you can. So automatically you increase the shelf life of the product that you are selling. A lot of benefits. It's easier to transport. You want to transport a live broiler, you worry about the driver, you worry about the vehicle, you worry about the weather, you worry about so much things. But once you process it, it is easier to sell. Apart from slaughtering and freezing, there are people who even go ahead and turn it into barbecue, all manner of value addition. Once you do that again, maybe somebody who has slaughtered and put in freezer is adding some extra 1,000 naira profit. Somebody who goes ahead to make barbecue again, and maybe you have a joint that you supply and all that, automatically from that 1,000 naira additional profit, maybe you will be adding like 3,000 naira additional profits. So the more the value you add, the more the profit you can get from the product. So everybody needs to think in the line of value addition. Value addition is also what I talked about when I mentioned the fact that the egg in the regular farmer crate and the eggs in the supermarket crates is the same egg, it's just packaging. So packaging is also value addition. You make sure that the customer who is paying for it gets higher value. Somebody who buys a live broiler, for example, and somebody who buys the barbecue. You know how much stress you have taken out of the life of the one who takes the barbecue straight. So if I were to buy the live broiler and I have to boil water, pour it on the body, the feather, open it up. Maybe that night I can't even eat it. I carry it over to the next day, wait for NEPA to bring light so that I can put it in the microwave oven, and I try to prepare it and all that. Before it's all done, sometimes maybe you don't even get the recipe correctly. You watch YouTube, you waste your time, but you just need barbecue and just go to that place and you just get it. So it just becomes something you can eat. So that's a lot of value added to the life of the customer. You have added it to the product, but indirectly you have added it to the life of the customer because they don't have to go through the stress they would have gone through. So that's value addition. We can think of value addition in any part of the business, any part of the poultry value chain that we are involved in, and it will definitely work for us. If you want to think of, or you are thinking about increasing your profit, you want to even double your profit, these are the things you need to consider. First, performance review. Check what you are doing. Is there better results outside of what you are getting currently? If there is, how can you measure up? How can you learn from those who are getting that result? And how can you start to get that result? That's one thing. And a lot of people will complain that they are not getting results from their broilers. Their broilers are not growing as much. How many informative training have they taken? Those are the things you need to ask. How many times have they sat down with somebody who knows what to do and allow them to school them? Okay, this is how do you do it? Okay, they show them this is how I do it from day one, blah 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 blah. How many times have they done that? So we need to be intentional about all these things. If you are intentional, the solution will come. If you are intentional about the situation you are facing, you want a way out. Trust me, the way out will come. The way out will come. Somebody like me, I think few years back, whenever I want to do a training, I would say, okay, 7 p.m. every day we'll have a 7 days training. And that was really eating me up. I was beginning to miss uh church programs, the evening programs. So it was a burden in my heart. I was like, I want out of these things. I don't as much as I want to teach people how to do poetry, I don't want this thing. It's draining. I have to meet some people by 7 p.m. and I have to do it, and I still have to match that with my daily activities as a family person, move around. So it was so burdensome for me. And suddenly God just gave me the insight. Like, it's not like I know people have been doing it before me, but it's not like I picked it from them. I never my eyes never opened to those things. That you could actually have it on. That was when I started using Telegram, and I will not put the course there, and people can come and join and rejoin. All they need to just scroll up and start from there. So it was disturbing me, and I was thinking about it. How could I do this? I want this meeting every evening to end, and I figured a way out, and I went to Telegram and I started using Telegram, and it helped. There are courses I put on Telegram, and I've sold and sold and sold and sold and sold, and I'm even tired of selling them. So that's it. If you are intentional about your performance, you want to get better, you will do whatever it takes to get better. If it is to take courses, if it is to go to people, visit them, learn under them, you will do it and you will get better. So that's one that we talked about. Then understanding the value chain is another thing that we talked about. Under that, you know all the things involved in the poultry value chain. Then you try to understand your own strength. Your strength can be the location that you are in, the kind of skill sets that you have, then the money that you have at your disposal. This can be your strength, and you can easily plug yourself in one of the value chain, in one area of the value chain that you think will work better or work best for you. All right. So, and then marketing, and the very key thing I want you to just grab in that marketing is that you try and sell convenience. Sell convenience. What you're selling is your product. I know you could be selling chicken, you could be selling your transportation business, you could be selling equipment, but sell convenience. Make sure that as you're trying to sell to your customer, think about how can this be convenient for them. Is it that you do delivery, or you do free delivery, or you do whatever? Just add convenience to it. And in many cases, actually, the convenience doesn't mean anything free. It just means making life easier for them. And when you make life easier for them, you can actually charge for it. You can charge for it. If it costs you 2 naira to make life easier for them, you can take 8 naira for that thing. You know, so that's how it works. Sell convenience and it's going to work for you. So, and the last one we just talked about is value addition, which also cuts across some of the things that we have listed. Value addition, take your product beyond, if you have the opportunity to take your product beyond the current state it is, transform it into a better product, into something that people would want, create a new market for yourself, and you'll see that you can increase your profit with that. All right, so that's a quick recap of what we have talked about